What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell with On 3 today on the Hard Count. We're going to give you some fall camp intel for what's going on at Nebraska. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people show. For every single thing that you know and that you love about college football, it happens here on a daily basis. Nick Brake doing the heavy lifting. You can help drive the show by subscribing to the channel. Now, you can smell the bug spray. You can see some of the tents starting to pop up. Sunscreen is out in full effect. S'mores, all that. It is camping season. With camping season comes camping intel, okay? So we talked to some people over there on the Nebraska site. Huskers coming soon, Nebraska coming soon. The Red Sea Scrolls is the name of the forum. Talked to some people over there, got some insight. Here's what's going on currently as Nebraska is into fall camp. Now remember, they have a week 0 game. They go over to Ireland to go play in front of Bono and company over there against Northwestern. They're favored in that game, but that's going to be a very telling game. But I say that to say their schedule in terms of fall camp is a little bit more accelerated. It's a little bit ahead of where other programs are right now because of the fact that they're going to Ireland, and that's going to throw a curveball in terms of the travel schedule, getting adjusted to jet lag. They're farther along in fall camp is what you really need to know. As it stands right now in fall camp, the defense is winning the fall. And if you're saying, oh my gosh, here we go again, gosh dang it, well, relax. Because in fall camp, that's usually how it goes. It's not overwhelmingly surprising that the defense will win fall camp, especially considering that they have a first-year offensive coordinator in Mark Whipple and a first-year quarterback in Casey Thompson for the first time working together. So don't be worried about that. The cause for question, I would say, is the offensive line. Because if you watched Nebraska football a year ago, you know there was a lot of mixing and matching along those front five. And that's still the case today. So they're trying to figure out who those five are going to be. They've tried a couple guys out at different spots. The thought is we're going to go as an offense and as a team ultimately as far as this offensive line allows us to go. Now, the good news is you look across from that offensive line, look on the other side, the defensive line lost some players, obviously, but they've re-energized that front with the transfer portal. You got O'Shawn Mathis coming over from TCU. You have Devin Drew from Texas Tech. You got Stephon Wynn from Alabama, all guys that have played at the Power 5 level. You know how I feel about that. I think those are all big gets, but they feel solid about what they have on defense. To the same token, lost some guys in the secondary. A lot of guys that are going to be playing for the first time, but even so, they feel good about the replacements so far. So the thought on defense is, hey, we're going to be okay. Yes, we're winning the fall. That's great. You don't get any points for winning the fall. You don't win any games in the fall camp. It's a very crucial word to add on to the end of that. Defense should be solid. The thing that I was very much intrigued by is what the insiders over there had to say about special teams. There is a new sense of urgency when it comes to special teams at Nebraska. Because if you remember a year ago, they lost realistically about 3 or 4 games based on some miscues with the special teams units. Now, Nick Brake and I, we take special teams very seriously. Nick Brake will tell you he was one of the highest rated punters coming out of high school. He won't tell you, so I will. I ran down on kickoff, and I loved it. But all that to say, we do special teams here on this show. In Nebraska, to re-emphasize the importance of that is crucial. Bill Bush is the special teams coordinator. You say, okay, great. Well, the reason why that's important is because Scott Frost, since he's been at Nebraska, has never had a coach specifically dedicated to coordinating the special teams. Like, it's always been sort of another coach that has coached another position group and then he kind of does special teams part-time. No, they have a full-time special teams coordinator in Bill Bush, and they're taking it very seriously, which is a good sign. In practice, they are starting with high-intensity, high-energy special teams periods, which I think most programs that do special teams well take part in. So all that's to say, they're taking the proper steps to have a solid special teams unit going forward. Obviously, they did it in the portal, going and getting some solid pieces in terms of what they got at place kicker and punter. So special teams should be improved. If nothing else, they're buying into it. You have starters on this offense and defense that are going to start on special teams. Ramir Johnston is one of those guys. He'll be the starting tailback for the Huskers. Guess what? He's the starting gunner on the punt team, and he's on the front line of kickoff. If that's not buy-in to what you want to do on special teams, I don't know what is. So they're allocating the proper resources, and the buy-in is there. Special teams is looking like it has a chance to be improved based on what we're seeing at fall camp. Now, the update when it comes to the transfers, because it's been well documented, a lot of new faces in this program. There is a positive ROI in terms of what they're doing on the field. Trey Palmer is one of those guys from LSU, will likely be wide receiver 1, will probably be punt returner 1. Again, talking about starters contributing on special teams. And then Thompson is, to nobody's surprise, being treated as quarterback 1. Sounds like Chuba Purdy is still getting some reps with the ones, which is a good sign in terms of if he needs to jump in, but they're treating it like, hey, Thompson, it's your job until you give us a reason to take it away from you. And so that's a good thing. However, when you have so many new faces, it causes for some hesitation with stepping up into the leadership roles. Doesn't sound like that's so specific to Casey Thompson, but just in this team in general, especially on offense, they need more leaders to step up. Because what happens is when you get a bunch of transfers, there's that first day of school syndrome. You don't really want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to step on anybody's toes. You just want to keep your head down, go to class, do what's right in front of you. And that's good, but for Nebraska to get to where they want to be, they need leaders. And with so many transfers on this team, you need some of those transfers to step up as leaders because they've played football before at a high level. They're not bright-eyed, bushy-tailed true freshmen. They've been in the college football atmosphere before. They know what it's required. So we need some transfers at Nebraska to step up, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And Casey Thompson has said as much in press conferences. He says, hey, I'm trying to do what I can. I'm trying to be the guy that steps up for us on offense, but we need more guys. Defense has a lot of those guys. On offense, we need more guys to step up. And so I think that's a call to action for the transfers. However, like I said, still a good ROI in terms of what they're bringing to the table right now on the field. We're going to see how it shakes out in the fall. So to recap, defense winning the fall. Offense is having moments. The offensive line is the critical piece we're looking at. The defense, some new faces via the portal, via just having to step up with guys graduating, especially in the secondary. They feel good about who they have stepping up. On offense, Casey Thompson being a leader, but when it comes to special teams, there is a sense of urgency that is different than in years past. A lot of that credit to Scott Frost saying, hey, Bill Bush, run the show. We need you to be our special teams coordinator. A lot of good things in the works. They're about to kick that ball off here real soon. Week 0 is right around the corner. I, for one, can't wait, but that's our fall camp intel as far as Nebraska goes. So that's it for us here on The Hard Count. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at JD Pickell. We do a Twitter Spaces every Tuesday, 1 Eastern, 12 Central. Would love to have you a part of that. It's a really great way for us to sort of break down whatever wall we have here and get the audience together with us. So we're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.